to The Red Light's On. So I ask everybody this first question is just to get everybody started here. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
What breakfast? I had some very healthy breakfast.
Okay.
Like soaked oats with and some fruits, honey, tahini, these kind of things, like super power.
All right, that's a very healthy breakfast. It might be the most healthy breakfast we've had so far. How about you, Peter? What did you have?
I never have breakfast, so
no breakfast for you.
Yeah, usually I don't have breakfast neither, but I was just hungry.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. So because we've got two people talking, I always want to make sure we, especially for our people who are listening audio-wise, why don't you both take a moment just to kind of introduce yourselves, let people get used to your voice, and then we'll jump into the interview here. So I don't know, Radina, if you want to go first, just you want to kick it off.
All right. My name is Radina. I'm one of the creators and co-founders of DiFOLD. I'm more focused on the business and marketing side of our project and the business that we are building. I have an experience in advertising, in strategic brand development. I've worked for startups in Berlin and Barcelona. The last studies that I did was in a master in innovation entrepreneurship in Barcelona. This is when I got more into exploring innovative ideas and more on the business development side after the marketing. And we've been working with Peter for more than 2 years now, developing our first product, the Origami Bottle, that is now live on Kickstarter. And apart from work, I'm a very active person. I love sports and spending time with friends with activities.
Very cool.
I'm very passionate about rock climbing, mountaineering. I do yoga. I do run. I run occasionally from time to time, and all kind of these things.
Awesome. Sounding good. Awesome. And Peter, if you want to introduce yourself here real quick.
Yeah, my name is Peter Zaharinov, and I'm an architect. I've graduated like 14 years ago, actually. And then I worked as an architect for, let's say, 5 years. And after that, I switched to product design. Okay. After I found some geometrical structures that are self-supporting, and I started to make furniture using the principles behind these joints. And my work is mostly inspired by geometry and transformable structures and structures that look impossible from first sight, but if you make some trick, let's say, it becomes possible. So
very cool.
And from personal perspective, I'm also passionate about mountains, trekking, and also slacklining. This is,
Awesome. Very cool. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about why we're talking today. Why don't you tell my listeners all about the Origami Bottle and what's on Kickstarter right now and what it is.
Yeah, right now our first product, as I said, is on Kickstarter. That is a reusable, collapsible bottle that folds like origami. So it's 750 milliliters or 25 OZ, I think, in the American system capacity that folds to a minimum just by pressing it on 3 points. And what differentiates it among other collapsible drinkware is that it's super stable when it's in unfolded state. So it's a hybrid between conventional stainless steel glass bottles and available collapsible drinkware. And it's also made of very durable premium materials that are also sustainable. We've applied circular design thinking in the whole design of the bottle and what will happen even after 5 years of intensive usage. Whether it's recyclable, is it endlessly recyclable, because the polymer that we've chosen, it can be recycled endlessly without the loss of quality, the stainless steel cap and the thread as well. So we've been really digging into every detail on the creation of this innovative bottle, really to make it as reliable, safe, really offer a great user experience that also is made to last for long. And with this first bottle, we are also starting, as we say, a reuse refold revolution, because our also next bigger step is to enter into the packaging industry, where we can develop other collapsible, reusable solutions. Because we're also, like Peter is the inventor of this folding technology, let's say origami technology, that this is one representation of a geometrical pattern that can be applied for something that can become super flat and compact while it's stable in an unfolded state. So we can develop even bigger, larger containers for transportation logistics or other consumer packed goods packaging that are reusable. So integrating them with new reuse refill models, where you bring your container in the store, like zero waste shopping, or the milkman model that is coming back in our lives. So that's why with this bottle, it's a lifestyle and it's very practical and innovative in the collapsible segment of bottles. But we believe that with the Kickstarter and the community that we are getting there, it will also open a lot of opportunities into the bigger impact that we can have with technology.
That's cool. That's awesome. Now, where does this idea kind of start from? Where, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where does the back of the napkin sketch of like, oh, this could be a water bottle? Where does that happen?
Maybe Peter has to share.
Yeah, before we decided to make a bottle, we explored many other applications of the technology, because usually a new principle, it's a very abstract, very symmetrical, and very, let's say, geometrical one that is not in a particular context. So first, let's say 6 or 7 years ago, I found this principle while I was exploring another type of structures. They are called kirigami, and I found out they're already explored, but during some playing with these kirigami structures, I found this new principle. And after some research, I found that it has never been used. So, and I was very surprised, because I thought it must be used by default, because it's something that looks very close to the mind. And I started to play with these structures because it can be just triangles. It can be composed of other patterns, like trapezoidal ones, or even very asymmetrical ones. So before the decision to make this product and to make a bottle, there was a lot of research and playing with the different patterns and shapes, because this technology can offer many different shapes. Almost every container can become collapsible, and there are many other possible applications, even in spaceships or whatever. I don't know. So
Okay, awesome. So I guess the water bottle portion of this is, after you kind of come up with the potential of this design, where does I'm going to make a water bottle fit in? Where is that? 2 years ago? When was that in the timeline?
Peter was explaining more about how he stumbled upon the principle of folding. The exploration of the technology. But basically, it was not until 2 years ago when we met and we started working together, that we together started working in the direction of how should we apply this technology to what product, really how should we bring this invention into something that is innovation. So this is when we started prototyping, like he was playing with all of these different structures, and the first product that we decided that it's a more universal one, and also like everybody's bringing bottles, but current bottles are not as convenient as they should be for the lifestyle of active people that are always on the go, that like to bring reusable containers with them in general. So we decided that the first product will be a bottle, something that everybody is hydrating on the go, and it brings an innovation in that segment.
And once you guys kind of determine we're going to use this technology with a water bottle, what's the first process? What's the first thing out of the gate that you have to do to, take this potential obscure technology or, principle and apply it to a water bottle? What is, I guess, how do those two things come together?
Well, it was, I think, like a lot of things doing simultaneously, because I was researching on the business side. Should we do a water bottle with our own brand, or should we license this technology directly to some bigger corporations that can introduce refill, let's say Coca-Cola systems or something like this, or should we go to some outdoor brand and just be like innovation partner just on the R&D side, and from there on they can take the selling and distribution. So there were a lot of approaches that we were going through together, and at the same time Peter was also prototyping, because he was 3D modeling and conceptualizing the design of the bottle. Like if you scroll down the Kickstarter page, we've shown the whole process, and the initial design was based on trapezoid folding forms. So this one is with triangles, whereas the other one you had more steps of pressing it so that it folds. And then he found out like this as a more simple, clean design that can be used, that you just fold it in 3 steps. And so there was a lot of research and development and 3D prototyping, also research on the material side, because we have an innovation that is on the design level, like how things function, but they have to be applied with also some specific materials. So then we started researching, okay, for a reusable bottle, what materials would be applicable for this application. And then we found the material, a lot of research testing, we found the material, this one. And after, we also saw that because we were applying to some open innovation programs, that we got very close to develop like other, let's say not bottles, but let's say reusable, refillable shampoo bottle that can be a variation of this bottle for a bigger corporation like Procter & Gamble. But then we saw that with all of these corporations, it's just very slow process. They see the potential of this technology, but they want to see a proof of concept, and we didn't want to lose time and be dependent on that side. And we at the same time we saw that there is a lot of interest in the development of this reusable lifestyle bottle, because we were constantly getting feedback from people from events where we were going, and they were like, maybe you can just do it by yourself, and in this way we will not make any, let's say, compromises, or I don't know what's the word, with the quality of the product. So we decided that the fastest way to really bring this technology to life is by developing our own brand with our own product that was also developing in the process and appeared to be the origami bottle.
Very cool. Awesome. Where does crowdfunding and Kickstarter fit into that equation of we're going to, launch our own brand? Where does that start to fit in?
Yes, at some point you need capital to start the production, and in our case, we were pitching to some investors, but it was the same as with the corporations. Basically, they want to see a working product. They were skeptical on the on the production side, like how it's gonna happen, because in here, especially where we are based in Bulgaria, there is not much funding that is going into hardware products. Everything is in software and digital technologies. So we saw that it's just difficult at an early stage to get funding to bring this product to life, and crowdfunding. That's why it's made, exactly to bring the crowd and to make this product happen. And this is a product that is just fits the Kickstarter community, and like the ideas that are spread there, and the backers they like this kind of innovative product. So we saw this as a logical step to really to make it happen, and now we are 100% sure that this is more powerful than really getting any money beforehand. That would really, you will develop something, but you will not have really this community, this empowerment that you create among your backers, that really like they feel involved in the process. And of course we are also involving them, and we're listening to all of the feedback, and we'll consider whatever is possible to still implement it on the bottle. So it's really creating a product for the people, and that is also involving them.
That's awesome. Yeah. So when, maybe this is a good question for Peter here, but when do you guys know that you have a prototype good enough for Kickstarter? Like, because I'm sure you could be tweaking this thing forever, or, oh, no, this could happen. But when do you feel like you have like a final version, or you feel comfortable enough to start going into the Kickstarter realm, or photographing it, videotaping it? I think that's a tough decision for a lot of creators. So how did you guys sort of navigate those waters?
Yeah, as far as I know, there are many products on Kickstarter that at the time of the campaign, they're actually faking a lot the product to look like a really working product and so on. In our case, it's not like that. We decided to invest in it's called test mold, because the production technology is injection molding. And so we tested the production in real industrial environment, because before that we used mostly 3D printing for the prototypes, and we achieved a lot of good results using 3D printing, but it was not enough to be confident and to know all the variables, because you have to know the cost for the product, and it's a strange product for the manufacturer. So we had to risk a lot with the mold, because the manufacturer said, okay, no one did it before, so we are not sure it's going to work. And we had to risk and invest in this test mode to be sure that it will work. And fortunately, it worked. And in our case, it was very important to be sure that.
Because the main concern of people is whether it's really durable and reliable. So you cannot guarantee that without going through pre-production and really testing this material with the injection molding and the prototype mold. And this prototype mold also gave us a lot of knowledge about how to improve this bottle with the real mold that will be invested after the Kickstarter, because there are some tiny details that that make a bigger difference in the longer term and the durability of the product. we also tested some other materials just to compare them and see whether there is a better option. And I think nowadays it's not only just having an idea on paper, especially for products like this one that is involved also with your health, etc. Because you need to ensure that this bottle product is also safe in terms of food safety and hygiene, etc. So you have to walk down the line and climb up the hill.
Yeah.
To be really ready to bring it to life and to market afterwards.
Sure.
This is our idea. Like, we're starting from Kickstarter and growing the community there, but after that, it's not just one-time hit like a project that we're doing, but really we want to make it sustainable also in the longer term.
Right. So now that you know that Kickstarter is going to be a part of this equation, and you've got the like a final prototype, what were you guys looking for that determined you were ready to launch on Kickstarter? Was there some data behind the scenes? Did you get an amount of emails that you wanted to hit? How did you know that you were ready to actually hit the launch button to be successful?
Yeah, you have a lot of work beforehand, before launching the Kickstarter, really, if you have depending on your goals, of course. Mm-hmm. But as I said, like, for us, this is an opportunity really to kickstart the business and bring this product. So since December last year, we started basically planning the campaign. We did our landing page, where we started collecting emails, exactly like building this database of email contacts of people that are interested in our product. We started also putting some social media ads, targeting them all around the world, like in Western Europe, in the US, Canada, etc., so that we reach out in advance to as many people as possible, and they can just sign up if they're interested to know when this product would be live. And at some point, then we started engaging with these contacts. So we started explaining about exactly what are we doing, why are we doing this, what is our journey so far, what have we done until now, what is about to happen. We sent a survey several months before the launch that we asked also what colors would be interested for the people to have this product in, what problems they experience with the current reusable bottles that they use, how do they define our bottle in terms of one word, which means like how do they position it in their mind, what do they like it, etc. So we really started engaging with these people while also growing this database of interested people. And the idea is that when you hit the launch button, you send a newsletter to these people, and they say, okay, thank you for being until now here. Now this is happening. We'll be super happy to join us also on Kickstarter and really bring this product to life. So this was one thing that we were very consistently working on. And this is typical, like with all the bigger campaigns that we see. Like, our campaign is not as big as some 500K and more 1 billion campaigns. But it is necessary if you really want to have a bigger community and bigger support on the very first date. At some point, we also created a Facebook exclusive group where all of these contacts or friends of ours, etc., could join us, that we were also sending live updates just before the launch. So the idea is that you have to really clearly communicate your messages, and because people are just, our attention is really limited. We constantly get bombarded with all kind of apps, chats, etc. Mm-hmm. So it's not that they don't want to remember, but it's difficult to really get your message and remember that at this day, at this time, this will be product. This product will be live at a limited quantity of early birds price. So and at the same time, you have to be careful how do you communicate this, because you don't want to become a spammer that is only talking about this. So we were always trying to add value to whatever we shared in these platforms. And of course, at some point from March on, we started planning the whole communication of the campaign, which means the video script, the video production, the whole storyline, and the Kickstarter page. We involved some friends of ours, because I've worked in advertising, as I said. Yeah, copywriter friend of mine who did the script, a graphic designer, art director that did our identity and all the visual elements. We worked also with a video crew that we managed to do the video. At the same time, in March, we know what happened with the world, so we were a bit. How are we gonna film the video? When should we really launch the campaign? So, but once our overall goal was to launch in June, so basically mid of June, that was still okay, and we saw that kind of all of the restrictions were lowering down, and people were starting to live with the new normal. So we decided to give it a try, because you never know what will happen. And it was not the highest peak. Of course, probably if we were not in these times, the campaign might have been more successful. But for now, this is enough for us, and it's still really satisfying.
That's great. That's great. So we actually haven't even really talked about the Kickstarter very much. So we've talked about it, but we haven't actually mentioned any numbers. So when we're talking right now, when we're doing this interview, we've got about 6 days to go. When people are hearing this, there's probably less than 4 days to go. You had a $15,000 goal, and right now you're sitting at $118,000 with over 2,500 backers. So a lot of backers, right? So if we talk about that community that you've mentioned, a lot of people are supporting this and getting on board here, which is awesome. Has there been something that stood out that you were not expecting in the dashboard, like a country that's supporting you, or, oh my gosh, we're really big in Japan. I had no idea. Has there been anything that you just have really been like, I did not expect that at all?
Maybe behind the scenes we can share that exactly Japan, like we're still receiving a lot of emails from interested partners to do a crowdfunding in Japan. Like honestly, I really was not aware about this opportunity. Japanese people, they have their own crowdfunding platforms, although now Kickstarter is open to Japan as well, but I think they opened a bit late. So this is an opportunity for the future, and maybe we'll do it. We don't know. And at the same time, it's not only happening in general, but at the same time, it's just has the right fit with our product, because it's an origami bottle. So this is part of their culture. So this was something that we didn't expect, honestly. But in terms of support, we were really stroked in the very first day. And when all of these backers started popping up in the first hours, it's really a lot of adrenaline and emotions and stress. And you're like, what's going on? So many chats, like really the internet was booming, like all our platforms. And it was, what probably will happen, and this is what you're really dreaming for and aiming for and hoping for. So we were really happy that it really has this viral effect in terms of with the launch. But until you experience it, you don't know what it is in terms of emotions. And and it's
now with this amount of backers, what's starting to happen behind the scenes to actually put these water bottles in people's hands? It seems like you've got a healthy amount of stuff to do in molds and production and probably some quality check, all that sort of stuff. What's starting to happen to make sure that people get these bottles?
Currently we're working on some improvements on the bottle, because let's say it's like 95% ready with the samples we have, but we want to make it even better. So we are working on and prototyping some geometry improvements, some improvements for the cap also. After the campaign, when we receive the funding, we will start the real production with the mode and so on. And we are in line with the schedule, so we hope that in December will be the bottles will be in the hands of the bakers. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. And how did you guys handle, the whole shipping element? I think this is a huge thing for a lot of project creators to really wrap their heads around in terms of, shipping products all over the world. How are you guys approaching that and thinking about it and making sure that you don't, lose all the money just on shipping, and packaging, that type of stuff?
Yeah, shipping is actually the most complicated part of all the modeling of a campaign in terms of money and costs and so on. Actually, we decided to exclude most of the shipping from the price, so it's outside of the price that our bakers are pledging in the moment. So it will be charged after the campaign, and of course we put part of the shipping in the price, but most of it is outside the price for several reasons. First, we don't want to charge the bakers too much, because sometimes there are a lot of countries, so you never know. You cannot provide such specific table of shipping costs. So we don't want to overcharge the bakers. The other reason is that, of course, the situation with the pandemic and so on, it makes the whole process sometimes very unpredictable. So we wanted to keep a little bit, the possibility to adjust the shipping according to the real costs in December. And we contacted several companies that are specialized in crowdfunding campaign shipping. So we are using their price tables and so on. They, as far as we see, they have a lot of experience in this. So
Awesome.
We research everything as much as possible. In advance. We've provided some estimates about shipping for the different countries. In the Kickstarter page, it's communicated that we'll be charging the right amount of money after the campaign, and we'll try to ship as soon as possible, because this is like the more time you have in advance, the more you can really meet your goals and time.
Sure. So,
and of course, working with only reliable partners that are experienced in this.
Right. Yeah, I think that's an important thing too, on this, in terms of who you're partnering with and make sure you're doing your research. So after this campaign ends and you ship out all these bottles, what starts to happen for your company? Where do you guys see yourselves a year from now? What's kind of happening? Is there more water bottle stuff? Is there, you mentioned maybe going into, shipping type of stuff or packaging? What starts to happen in your guys' business?
A lot of things. Hopefully everything will start growing from here on. First and foremost important is really to deliver to all of our backers the best product as possible by the end of the year. Simultaneously, we'll start growing our, not growing, but establishing and planning our distribution and wholesale strategy. We are already receiving a lot of requests that we're starting to handle after the campaign. So we are looking in that direction. Also, the whole marketing needs to be of course, taken to a next level. So we are looking for international expansion. As we know, Kickstarter is also a good validation that shows you where, what countries you can focus on, meaning that people are interested from these geographical areas and markets. We see a lot of requests from Asia. That is not only Japan, but I think Taiwan, Singapore. We have a lot of backers from Singapore. So this is also a good opportunity to build our distribution there as well. Of course, on the product level, we are planning to diversify the portfolio of this first product, so we can like from the next year on. Of course, it's not for the next 6 or 10 months, but like developing other capacity of bottles, like smaller, larger ones. Also, developing other colors, like new products. We'll see. So diversifying the portfolio of products. We are also planning, and we see a lot of opportunity also selling this bottle in B2B. What I mean is that we can sell in larger quantity to organizations that want to give this bottle as a gift to their employees, to really nurture this reuse mindset and enhance their green image. Also to event organizers. We've already spoken with some music festivals that are interested to offer this bottle as a merchandise product, because we know that a lot of festivals are also going to zero waste, and they're banning the single-use plastic bottles and providing refill stations where you can bring your own bottle or you can buy one there. Our bottle is much more convenient than the regular ones because first, it's safe. I mean, if you hit somebody, like it's not like that dangerous as a stainless steel bottle.
Right.
And at the same time, when you're in the crowd in front of the stage, and or you're even at a business conference, I mean, when it's empty, you can just fold it, and it's not a hassle for you to carry it around, like with the carrying loop, etc. So, like building also the B2B expansion in terms of sales. And also, we have some interested bigger corporations, as I said, that we've already spoken, that they want to send them samples and test the bottles, like speak with their R&D departments and see whether we can make some variation of this bottle or a similar design that can be integrated for reusable packaging, refill, reuse models.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, so we're working in the two directions. Hopefully we'll grow the team as well, because with more workload, you need more people really to get on board and
definitely
really start feeling like a company, not just
that's great.
The creators that are
Yeah, well, it sounds like you guys have got like all this coming ahead of you, so it really is amazing. So where can people dive in and learn more, even outside of Kickstarter? How can they find you guys online?
You can find us, of course, in all of the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So usually our username is DiFOLD or DiFOLD. We say DiFOLD. So DiFOLD. Sometimes we have .tech, but if you just search DiFOLD Origami Bottle, we should pop in. And our official website is DiFOLD.tech. Currently, it's just resending to the Kickstarter page. In the future, of course, we'll develop this, also our online shop, etc. Or they can write us at contact@difold.tech.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you both taking time out of your day. I know it's a lot of stuff going on here with the campaign wrapping up, and you've got a lot of stuff going on here. So a really amazing product. Great job on the design. It's something that caught my eye, and I was super excited about having this interview. So I encourage everybody to go to Kickstarter right now, follow these guys, check out what they're doing, and buy a water bottle from them, right? Go on Kickstarter and be a backer. So thanks again so much for your time.
Thank you very much for your invitation and nice conversation. Thank you, really.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes, great time, man. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye.